Welcome to another Stone and Wood post show, and those beers are just looking so tantalising there on the edge of the desk because it has been a big day worthy of celebrating. Great conditions at Winky, huge matchups, and a real pushback from some of those surfers that need big results here at stop number 5. Welcome to the post show. Ronnie with Rosie and Richie. We got so much to break down. Rosie, a great day of competition and a fantastic way to finish.
Oh, huge day of competition. Got through 16 heats. That last one as exciting as it gets. Leo Fervanti taking the win over Al Cleland. We'll get into that, but I'm frothing.
Absolutely, Rich. The conditions, there was slow moments. There's no denying it. A couple of heats which got a little wave starved, but when the waves came, there was enough quality there that we saw some great surfing.
Saw some amazing surfing today, starting with the women, and it was a little bonus day. We weren't too sure if the swell was going to hang around, but it did. There was ample opportunities in all the heats, and again, the surfing level went right up, and you expect that at this stage of the competition.
Some big stories unfolding today, some magic highlights. We're going to kick it off with the Boost Mobile wave of the day, heat of the day, I should say, and it was a big one for the veteran Sally Fitzgibbons, chasing a third Bells title, coming up against last year's champ, and she didn't disappoint.
Oh, I mean, both of these women had moments of brilliance. Katie Simmons, she had this two-turn combo that was very zesty, but just couldn't find the backup. And I think Sally just played such a smart game. She started early and then just, you know, built throughout the heat.
Yeah, real pressure moment. Real pressure moment, the scheme of things for Sally Fitzgibbons, way down in the ratings. But a former champ, and it wasn't easy for her. Katie Simmons had her opportunities here and just slipped up on the end section on a few of these waves, that one in particular. And you could see the anguish for Tommy Whitaker, her coach. But Sal on one of the bigger waves of the morning here, just connecting and flowing so beautifully between these turns. Finishes incredibly strong on this ride and a big sigh of relief. We saw a lot of the blue singlets getting through this morning. I'm not going to say the underdogs because some of the veterans were in the blue singlets, but you can just see the relief on Sally's face there, getting through that. She needs to get her year started right now.
Yeah, the emotion was really evident. You could see it as that heat came to a close. Sally put her head down in her hands. I think it was an emotional win for her. She loves this event and she loves her place on this championship tour, Rosie, and that was a really tough draw. Katie Simmons, you know, has been unstoppable this year.
Well, she said in her post-heat interview, she wants to come up against the best. She wants to beat the best. That's going to bring the best out of her. But yeah, she had such a heartbreaking one in El Salvador. It's great to see Sally come here to Bells and get a little bit of rhythm going.
Yeah, and of course, you know, with Katie getting bumped out, with Lakey Peterson so strong in her heat as well, and you know, Molly Picklum falling out of the mix. We just kept seeing the upsets roll on, and that opened the door for Gabriella Bryan to make a move and get herself a shot at that yellow jersey for the first time.
Oh, well, this is a lady who has been on an absolute tear. The improvement over the last 12 months, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it has been astronomical how good she is surfing and looking just so strong, the most powerful woman on the tour at the moment. She's sort of just blowing her opponents out of the water.
Coming up against Nadia Eristab, who is looking solid on the backhand, but there's no denying just how powerful Gabby is. And just what a contender she's looking like at the moment. I mean, she's taken that #1 rankings with this result already, moving through to the quarterfinals. Hot off a win in El Salvador, and to back it up with this kind of surfing is just super impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ferocious the way she attacks these lips. And just almost like Carissa's passed her the torch.
Yeah.
She's picked it up, she's added a little petrol to it, and the fire is burning bright.
Yeah, that yellow jersey has been reserved for just a small group of women in the last 10 years, and Gabriella Bryan is going to add her name to that list. Congratulations to her. Really strong performance and just a great run of events coming up for her. She can she'll probably be hard to get that jersey back from.
That's such a good point. I mean, looking at, you know, the Aussie treble, what we've got ahead of us, I mean, we've still got work to do here at Bells, and you picked her as your favorite on our first morning show that we had, Richie, and yeah, she's definitely been the person to beat.
Let's have a look at the quarterfinal bracket here for the women. Great matchups across the board, Rich. Two surfers trying to solidify a position at the top end of the rankings, coming up against one another in that first clash.
Yeah, this is a really good quarterfinal bracket. As you mentioned, Rosie, we're all out of goofy footers on the women's side of the competition. Luana Silva against Lakey Peterson, number one. Sally Fitz against Brissa Hennessy. Great matchup there. Gabriella Bryan, Isabella Nichols, and then Betty Lou Sakura Johnson with Tyler Wright in quarterfinal number 4. Some great matchups.
Seeing a couple of rematches from El Salvador too in a few of those quarterfinals, so it's going to be interesting to see how those play out.
Yeah, just that bottom side of the draw has got the real threats for the title here. We know that anyone can break through for a championship tour win. But it is going to be hard to stop Tyler Wright and Gabriella Bryan down the bottom there.
Well, also, I mean, you got two past champions. Sally Fitzgibbons is still in the mix, so there's a bit of an advantage of knowing this place so well, having all those emotions and good feelings coming into this event.
We had such a magic finish to the day. We saw a battle that went right down to the wire, Rich, flip-flopping at different stages. I think it stands out as one of the best heats that we had.
Oh, absolutely. This was a crazy heat. And, well, you've said it, Ronnie, the last couple of events, Leo Fervanti is in career best form at the moment. Something's really clicked into gear for him. The equipment's looking on point, certainly as fit as we've ever seen him look. But Al Cleland Jr. really took it to him in this one, bringing this raw approach, just really unhinged the way he tacks the lip here. He's got this kind of free energy about him and really put some great rides together, and Leo came bounding back right in the final stages.
We saw some amazing performances from surfers that lost out today, Rosie. I think Al Cleland was the best of them and, you know, really forced the issue and made it a close one in the later stages.
Well, it all came down to this final exchange in this heat, and it was so close with both El and Leo trading 7-point rides. Yeah, there's just so much excitement around El's surfing at the moment. He's had to overcome some really amazing competitors, and Leo was one of them, and they super gracious in defeat, El Cleland, but stoked for Leo to see his campaign continue.
Yeah, if he keeps surfing like that, he'll win some of those close ones. It just feels like he is one of those guys that, you know, you could kind of identify even as a junior. Like, if this guy can make the CT, he's going to do damage. His surfing just looks right at home here, but Leonardo, you mentioned him, Rich, in fine form at the moment, already collecting some solid results this year, and another great heat score total for him. Yeah,
and I think we've just got to look at the heat score total there. Al with a 14.10. That's a solid heat total, and would have potentially beaten some of the other heats of the round. But the performance, he's got to be, you know, taking some confidence in that going into the next event on the Gold Coast and then on to Margaret River. But he looks like he belongs here on the tour.
For sure. Well, Leonardo Fervanti winning through in that last heat of the day. He's down there with Vaughn.
Leo, what a heat to finish the day, man. You and Al were just going toe-to-toe, blow for blow, a total slugfest out there.
Yeah, it was an incredible heat against Al. He's an amazing surfer, and I really feel like he's been finding his form since El Salvador and over here. His first round, he surfed amazing, and even today he was ripping, and just, I kept getting the lead, he kept getting the lead, I kept getting it, so great battle up until the end.
Yeah, that's right, you got it done, mate, and you're surfing looking so on point. But tell me, like, when you're in a heat like that where it's a real arm wrestle, do you think that helps lift you to another place?
Definitely the battle, you know, fires you up. But, you know, I was trying not to let my emotions in some way get to me. With like 12 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, there was no sets. I was like, oh, come on. And I just tried to stay patient, believe that if the moment comes, I'll do it. And, you know, I have a bit of a strange relationship with Bells Beach. I absolutely love it. My stepdad, Stephen Bell, is from here. My best friend, Cody Robinson, is from here. But I've never had a good result over here. So again, there a couple of thoughts came in like, oh, well, I'm probably gonna have to wait till next year to get it. And then as soon as those thoughts came in, I'm like, no, believe till the end. It's gonna come.
Matey, if you love Bells, Bells will love you back. That's how it works.
Yeah. I love it over here, like I said. And the people are so nice. The locals are amazing. And just really, really happy to win that heat and into the next round.
Mate, so stoked to see you into the next round. I really do think that, yeah, as I said, once you click with Bells, as you've been hoping to do for so long, it'll give back to you. So looking forward to seeing you surf again tomorrow.
I totally agree, and shout out to all my family back home. I think in Italy it's the morning, so that they were able to watch it, I think. Ciao a tutti, nonna Anna, mamma, Belli, Matteo, tutta la famiglia. Vi voglio bene. Forza Italia, dai.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Well done to Leo there. His 6th appearance at Bells Beach, just his 3rd heat win. So he's forcing it. He's like a stage 5 clinger. He won't give up. He won't leave Bells alone. He wants to forge a great relationship with this wave, and he's on his way. Let's have a look at the Surfline forecast, Rich, because today it delivered more than we thought it would, and promising signs for what's to come.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, it was a bit of a bonus day. We had this residual swell left over from the last 2 days, but we did have to shift everything down to Winkipop, which was a little more consistent throughout the entire day. We got through a bunch of heats, which was great. We are going to see a new swell start to fill in overnight, and promising signs for the next couple of days. What I really do like to see on these forecasts is the wind. It's looking really good. We had beautiful offshore conditions for most of today, and I think we're going to have offshore conditions for the next few days as well. So looking at tomorrow all the way through to Monday, you can see a solid swell up around the sort of 5, even up to 8 foot faces. And the wind is looking really, really good. Side shore sometimes, and then coming back around to offshore, and that'll give us those beautiful groomed faces. And especially if we move things back onto the bowl, we might get little hints of that classic Bells imagery that we're used to seeing.
Bring it on. We've got so much to look forward to, of course, getting through the first half of that rounder of 32 for the man still. Got to get through that bottom half, and you know what, there's, as we said before, we've got great heats to watch, the Hydrolite heats to watch for the quarterfinals for the women. Gabriella Bryan up against Isabella Nichols, you know, really similar weapons, both showing great form in that last round, Rosie. This will be a big one.
Well, it's a rematch of the El Salvador final with both of these women competing over there, and Gabby obviously getting that win. But that was a hard-fought final for Gabby. Isabella was right there looking in on that to take home that win in El Salvador. So I'm looking forward to this one.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and I think Isabella's just going to have to really be on her game, you know, knowing that Gabriella's going to bring all that sort of power and energy to the heat. She's going to have to be in top form.
And then on the men's side, Hydrolite, heat to watch. Heat number 9, Italo taking on the local Xavier, who won through in the trials. Great talent. Love his chances here. Italo, though, he's been just in rare form, kind of looking like he's back to that world title magic.
Well, both of them, they met up in that round 1. Obviously, that's a 3-person heat. Xavier was right there in the mix. Obviously, Italo dropping some exceptional scores, but it's cool to see the local wildcard. He's created some big upsets here in the past, so cool to see this matchup.
Yeah, and like I said, so many more great matchups you can break down by going to worldsurfleague.com. Have a look at that heat draw. It's looking exceptional. We did know that we unfortunately had a tragic incident in the opening round. Ramsey Bookiam, he fell awkwardly on the reef on the inside, and he injured his knee. The extent of the damage to that knee, you know, we're still yet to get an official word, but I saw Ramsey last night, and you know, he said it's sort of 50-50 whether he's going to need surgery at this point. He's going to seek some different opinions, and when those opinions come through and we get official word from Ramsey, we'll let you know what the story is. But forced to withdraw from the contest, sadly. And, you know, for a goofy footer with a backhand as strong as his and an event with so much prestige, just a heartbreaking moment for him.
Oh, just so tough. And even, you know, he had that season where he broke his femur. He's just been through so much in his short career. Would love to see Ramsey back in it and back in the mix, and obviously wishing him all the best.
We sure are, and look forward to hopefully some positive news for him. Let's have a look at the BioGland Daily Dose, a day full of magic moments, but this is what we've picked out of it. Coming in at number 5 and looking very strong out there today. We had a number of those surfers fighting to get themselves off the bottom of the rankings. Luana Silva, she really stepped things up.
Yeah, she sure did. Sorry, Rosie. I just, you know, pretty much the opening heat of the day, she opened it with a bang, really getting herself out of trouble here. This was Lakey Peterson. She put in a good performance as well.
Well, Lakey, I mean, just coming to Winky, feeling a lot of comfort out in this lineup, but it was a really tricky heat. She was up against Sawyer Lindblad, super close one, and redemption for Lakey getting the win over Sawyer.
Yeah, it just felt like we were going to see some of those top seeds really tested with other competitors having their backs against the wall. Brisa Hennessy, she looked magic on these walls at Winky today, really in attack mode.
Yeah, it was a crazy run for the blue jerseys throughout the morning. And then we had another one here with Betty Lusakura Johnson, putting a good performance and starting to find that form that we're used to seeing. We've seen her surf so well on these classic right-hand point waves and some of the rights in Hawaii. Yet to find the form, but today she clicked into gear.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Moving into number 4 today, we saw some really strong performances. Joel Vaughn saved himself in the dying moments against Crosby Colapinto.
Yeah, just incredible. Needing that 7-point ride, dropping, I think this was a 7.4 to take the lead. And this happened off the back of, a mistake. So I feel like for Joel, as that rookie, to recenter himself, regather himself, and do this type of surfing was really impressive.
Yeah, Crosby was in total control of this heat, all the way up into the final moments. But this was always going to be the danger for Cros, as this guy is so capable in the air.
Yeah, big Hail Mary moment for him, and he pulled it off. Morgan Siblick, this was more probably of an even matchup than maybe what people thought. Even though Cole Hauschman won here, Morgan's just looked so on point through the free surfs in that opening round, one of the most aggressive competitors, and he came out firing again.
Yeah, he sure did. He just looked like he picked up from 2000 and looks totally at home here on the championship tour. We know he wants to get back there, working with Nathan Hedge, eliminating the past champ.
Coming in at number 3 on the Daily Dose, Gabriella Bryan just takes control of the rankings. She's moved into that number 1 position on the live ladder already. She is in that yellow jersey, and who's going to stop her? It'll be so difficult.
That you just took the words right out of my mouth. And even just chatting to some of the competitors, I was on the interview for the men's round, and a lot of them just citing Gabby's performances as their inspiration. Geordie said it, Connor O'Leary were just mentioning how powerful and how just dominant Gabby is looking at the moment.
Yeah, I think Connor summed it up perfectly. He said she's shining at the moment. She is looking every bit the number 1 surfer in the world through these past couple of performances. Coming in at number 2, Winkipop excellence. Ethan Ewing chasing a second bell, going excellent, dropping the biggest number of the event so far.
Oh yeah, the form surfer on the men's side of the draw today, and just did not put a foot wrong. He looked so good. His form was impeccable. This man too put some great rides together. Kanoa Garashi on point, slower start, but came back strong.
That was another really close, great heat with multiple high-scoring rides. Liam O'Brien also looking sharp, but Kanoa tapping into just that perfect timing that he possesses.
And just at the right time. I mean, Liam O'Brien was looking so good in that heat.
Coming in at number 2 is all the excellence that we watched unfold, and the big rotations. There was plenty of them today, but none bigger than what we saw from Seth.
Yeah,
and then we've got it, Sally Fitzgibbons. She was so impressive throughout the event in the past, and she is showing again that she's going to be a force this year, Rich, overcoming the world number 1.
Yeah, such a fighter. And again, a little bit of anguish there from Tommy Witts as Katie Simmons, number 1 rated surfer on the tour at the moment, gets knocked out. But Sally needed this way down in the ratings. She's desperate for points, and she's a real fighter and a real crowd favourite as well. Just getting a great reception when she walked up the stairs for this heat. And I don't mind this, mixing up the ratings a little bit more. Let's spice it up a bit and see how we go through this Aussie leg.
You can feel things intensifying, Rosie, but an unbelievable collection of moments from a big day of competition.
Yeah, it's been so fun to watch this one. I think for me, the upsets that we saw in the women, I mean, the top seeds falling out of the mix, it's definitely bottlenecking the bottom half of the rankings. It's going to take a breakout result for one of, those lower ranking surfers to really move up the leaderboard.
Most definitely. Tomorrow, Anzac Day, we're going to have a slightly later call. Just at 8:15, we'll be making the call for a potential 8:30 start. Stay tuned to worldsurfleague.com to catch more highlights. And right now, we're going to leave you with some of those beautiful moments from a great day of competition here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsoy.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.